Have you recently noticed changes in someone you love? Changes that felt small at first but left you wondering if something bigger was happening. The truth is, when a person is in the final year of life, the body and mind often start sending quiet signals. Most people miss them until it's too late to help, or even too late to say your goodbyes. This isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to help. Because recognizing these signs early doesn't change the outcome, but it can change how much time you spend together, the conversations you have, and the support you're able to give while it still matters. Doctors, hospice nurses, and caregivers all say the same thing. There are patterns. Small changes that, looking back, almost always appear in that last stretch of life. And knowing them, that's a gift, because it helps you show up with compassion, patience, and presence. In this video, we're breaking down 7 subtle signs that often appear in the final year. Some of them are physical, some are emotional, and some, well, they might surprise you. I know this isn't easy to think about, but if you've ever lost someone, or you're caring for an aging parent, grandparent, or partner, you know how quickly time can slip away. My goal is simple: help you see these moments not as warnings, but as reminders to lean in, connect deeper, and make every day count. And if you've witnessed any of these signs before, or if you're going through it right now, drop a note in the comments. Let those comments act as a reminder. You're not alone in this. Let's get into it. Sign number 1. Withdrawing from family and friends. The first sign is one of the most common and often the most heartbreaking: pulling away from the people they love. You might notice your loved one isn't calling as much. They skip family gatherings. Conversations get shorter or stop altogether, and it's easy to brush this off as a bad mood or just needing rest. But in many cases, this withdrawal is deeper. It's their way of letting go. Slowly. Hospice nurses see this all the time. People in their final years start detaching physically, emotionally, and socially. It's not because they don't love you. It's because their world is getting smaller, their energy is limited, and often even connecting with family feels exhausting. Some experts believe this is part of the mind preparing for what's coming. Others say it's simple self-protection because talking about the future or making plans becomes too painful when they know deep down that time is running out. And here's the hard part. It feels personal, but it's not. If you're noticing this in someone you love, try not to take it as rejection. Instead, look at it as a cue to meet them where they are. Sit with them, even in silence. Remind them they're not alone. And if you can, create space for moments of connection without pressure. Watch a show together, share a meal, hold their hand. Because while words might fade, presence matters, and sometimes just being there is the most powerful thing you can do. Sign number 2, sudden weight loss or loss of appetite. The second sign is one most families notice, but few realize how serious it is: sudden weight loss or a fading appetite. Maybe meals get smaller, food sits untouched, snacks they once loved don't interest them anymore. You might hear things like, "I'm just not hungry," or "everything tastes off." At first, it's easy to dismiss. After all, appetite changes with age. But when someone stops eating consistently or starts losing weight quickly without trying, it's often a signal that the body is slowing down in a much bigger way. What's happening? As we approach the final stages of life, the body naturally starts shutting down non-essential systems. Digestion is energy-intensive, and when the body knows it's nearing the end, it stops prioritizing food. Eating becomes work, and sometimes they simply don't feel hungry at all. Caregivers describe this as one of the hardest things to witness. Families want to fight it, urging loved ones to eat, begging them to finish a plate. But forcing food often backfires. It can create tension, discomfort, and even make them feel worse. Instead, the goal shifts. Focus on comfort, not calories. Offer small bites of favorite foods, sips of water or juice, or cold treats if they'll take it. And most importantly, let go of the idea that eating is what's keeping them alive. It's not. What they need most in this phase is not just nutrition, it's connection. Sit with them, share stories, laugh, cry, whatever the moment calls for. Because when the appetite fades, what really feeds the soul is you. And sometimes you'll notice that your mere presence will boost their mood enough to allow them to eat. Take a deep breath because this next one is truly hard to talk about, but that might make it the most important to discuss. Sign number 3, talking about death or making final comments. This next one catches people off guard because it sounds so casual, but it means everything. When someone starts talking about death, making comments like, "I've had a good life," or "I won't be here next year," it's easy to dismiss it. We don't want to believe they know something we don't, so we laugh it off or quickly change the subject. But here's the truth. Many people sense when their time is getting short, and they'll start slipping it into conversation, not to scare you, but because they're processing it themselves. Hospice workers call this life review mode. It's when someone begins reflecting, wrapping up loose ends, or saying things that sound like goodbye without actually saying the words. They might start giving away prized possessions, bringing up old memories you haven't heard in years, or making sure you know where important things are, like bank accounts or family recipes. They're tying their story together. And as hard as it is, listen, don't brush it off. Don't say, "Oh, don't talk like that." Instead, give them the space to share, ask questions, let them tell their story, because sometimes what they really want is to know someone hears them, that their life meant something. These conversations, while tough, are often the most meaningful you'll ever have. And looking back, you'll be grateful you didn't turn away. Sign number 4. Personality changes or emotional detachment. Another powerful sign one many families struggle to understand is a sudden change in personality or emotional distance. You might notice your loved one is more irritable, less patient, or the complete opposite, quiet, detached, almost as if they've emotionally checked out. This isn't them being mean or cold. More often, it's the mind protecting itself. When the body is declining, emotional energy runs low. Carrying on conversations, reacting to small things, or even expressing love can start feeling like too much. Some people describe it like a light dimming. Others say it's like the person is already halfway gone. Medically, changes in oxygen levels, medications, or disease progression can absolutely cause mood shifts, confusion, or withdrawal. But emotionally, this can also be the mind's way of preparing for what's next, pulling back to make leaving a little easier. And I'll be honest, this one hurts. Watching someone who once lit up a room fade into silence is heartbreaking. What helps? Patience, compassion, lower your expectations. Meet them where they are, even if where they are feels far away. Remember, this isn't personal, it's part of the process. What matters most is that they still feel your presence, even if words or emotions aren't flowing like they used to. Sign number 5, loss of mobility or increased falls. Sign number 5 is one that's often overlooked until it's too late. A sudden decline in mobility or a noticeable increase in falls. Maybe they're having more trouble getting out of a chair. Maybe you've noticed bruises popping up and they brush it off. "Oh, I just tripped." But here's the thing, the body knows when it's running low on strength, and balance is one of the first things to go. Falls in older adults are dangerous at any time, but in the final year of life, they often mark a shift. Suddenly, daily tasks, walking to the bathroom, standing at the kitchen sink, climbing a single stair, become risky. And the problem is, one bad fall can be the event that changes everything, sending someone to the hospital, starting the rapid decline most of us dread. What's happening? Muscles weaken, blood pressure drops, coordination fades. It's the body's way of pulling energy back from the parts that no longer feel essential. But there's one thing to understand. This is the moment to adjust. not to push. Get rid of trip hazards. Bring things closer. Help them stand, walk, and move safely. It's not about keeping them independent anymore. It's about keeping them here as long as you can. Because in the end, the falls aren't really about mobility. They're about what the body is trying to tell us. I'm tired. I need help. And we need to listen. Now this next one feels like the exact opposite of the last. It feels like a breath of fresh air, and that often makes acceptance even harder. Sign number 6. Sudden bursts of energy or rallying moments. This next sign is the one nobody warns you about, and it catches families by surprise every time. Sudden bursts of energy, or what hospice nurses call the final rally. It happens more often than people think. After weeks, maybe months of weakness, sleeping all day or barely eating, your loved one wakes up. They're alert, they want to talk, they ask for a favorite meal or even crack a joke, and for a moment it feels like they're back. Families get hopeful. Maybe we were wrong. Maybe they're getting better. But here's the hard truth. This rally often happens days, sometimes hours, before the final decline. It's the body's last surge, a release of energy as systems prepare to shut down. Why does it happen? Some experts believe it's the mind's way of giving loved ones one last gift, a final chance to connect. Others think it's chemical, a rush of adrenaline or endorphins. Either way, it's powerful and emotionally confusing. If you see this happen, don't rush to make plans or imagine recovery. Instead, be present. Enjoy the moment. Listen, laugh. Say what needs to be said. Because these rare windows, though brief, become the moments families remember forever. And afterward, if things decline fast, know that it wasn't a mistake. It was a goodbye wrapped in one last good day. Okay, we're almost done. So stick with me until the end. Sign number 7, changes in skin tone or circulation. The last sign is subtle but hard to miss once you know what you're looking for. Physical changes in skin tone, temperature, and circulation. You might notice their hands or feet feel colder, no matter how many blankets you pile on. Their skin looks pale, almost bluish or mottled, especially around the fingertips or lips. Sometimes bruises show up easily, or there's a faint purple marble pattern across their skin. It's not random, and it's not just poor circulation from sitting too long. What's really happening is this. As the body nears the end, it starts pulling blood away from the extremities, conserving energy for the vital organs. The hands, feet, and even the face slowly lose their warmth and color. It's the body's way of saying, I'm done working overtime. For many, this is one of the clearest physical signs that the end is near, often days or weeks away. It's a hard thing to see. Our instinct is to fix it, to warm them up, get the blood flowing, do something. But the kindest thing in this moment is to just be there, hold their hand, even if it's cold. Talk to them, even if their eyes are closed. Because what matters most isn't fixing what's happening. It's making sure they feel loved, safe, and not alone as their body does what it's meant to do. We've reached the end. Ready for a quick recap? We discussed the 7 subtle but powerful signs that someone might be in their final year. And if you've seen any of these changes in someone you love, I know how heavy this feels. But here's what I want you to remember. These signs aren't here to scare you. They're here to remind you that time is precious, and that showing up, truly showing up, is the greatest gift you can give someone in their final chapter. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to force food or find the perfect words. What matters most is that your loved one feels seen, heard, and loved. Whether that's through a conversation or just sitting together in silence. None of us get a second chance at these moments, but we do get to decide how we show up once we see the signs. If you've been through this before, or if you're going through it right now, say something in the comments. Share a memory, a story, or just know. This is a space where you're understood. And if this video helped you, remember to subscribe and tap the bell icon. We talk about the hard stuff here because no one should feel like they're facing this alone. Take care of yourself, take care of the people you love, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong.